Hey, and welcome. At some point, almost everyone asks the same quiet question: what am I doing this for? Sometimes it shows up loudly in a crisis, a breakup, a burnout, but more often it shows up softly in ordinary moments, scrolling late at night, finishing a day that felt full but somehow empty, realizing you're busy but not deeply alive. Finding purpose in life isn't about discovering one dramatic destiny. It's usually about building a relationship with meaning, step by step, until your life starts to feel like it belongs to you again. Chapter 1: Purpose isn't one thing you find. Many people imagine purpose like a hidden treasure, something you're either lucky enough to discover or doomed to miss. But purpose is rarely a single permanent answer. Purpose is more like a compass than a destination. It doesn't tell you exactly where you'll end up. It tells you which direction feels true. And this matters because the pressure to find the purpose can become its own trap. You start thinking, what if I choose wrong? What if I waste my life? What if everyone else knows and I don't? Here's a gentler reframe. Purpose is something you practice, not something you prove. It usually has two layers. Meaning, what makes life feel worth living? Contribution, what you give, express, or protect in the world. For some people, purpose is creative. For others, it's relational. For others, it's service, learning, building, healing, parenting, teaching, or simply becoming a steadier person. And purpose can change across seasons. In your 20s, purpose might be exploration. In your 30s, it might be building. In another season, it might be recovery or care or starting again. A helpful metaphor: purpose isn't a tattoo. It's a garden. You don't find a garden. You tend it. You water what matters. You remove what drains. You allow it to change with weather and time. So, if you feel like you don't have purpose, it may not mean you're empty. It may mean you're between seasons, waiting for the next honest direction. Chapter 2: 3 places purpose usually comes from. If purpose is a compass, we need ways to read it. Here are 3 reliable sources of meaning that most people share. 1. What brings you alive, even quietly? Purpose doesn't always feel like passion. Sometimes it feels like a small internal yes. Pay attention to moments when you feel absorbed, gently energized, curious, emotionally moved, more like yourself. These signals are easy to ignore because they're not dramatic, but they're often your truest clues. Ask yourself, what do I do that makes time feel different? What topics do I return to, even when no one rewards me? When do I feel a quiet sense of meaning? 2. What you care about, what hurts you to see. Sometimes purpose is revealed by pain. If certain things break your heart, loneliness, injustice, suffering, wasted potential, it might be because your values are alive there. Not every pain becomes a mission, but it's worth asking, what do I wish was different in the world? What kind of suffering do I want to reduce? What kind of life do I want others to have? Purpose often lives at the intersection of love and concern. 3. What you can offer, skills, strengths, lived experience. Purpose isn't only about what you enjoy, it's also about what you can carry. Your skills matter, your temperament matters, your story matters. Even the things you struggled with can become part of your contribution, not as a performance, but as wisdom. Ask, what do people come to me for? What have I learned the hard way? What feels natural for me to give? Sometimes purpose is simply becoming the person you needed when you were younger. Chapter 3: How to build purpose when you don't feel it yet. Let's make this practical. Because for many people, the issue isn't lack of intelligence. It's lack of clarity and too much pressure. Here are gentle steps that actually work. 1. Stop trying to think your way into purpose. Purpose often doesn't appear through thinking alone. It appears through contact with life. If you're waiting for certainty before you act, you may wait forever. Instead, treat purpose like a hypothesis. I think this might matter to me. Then test it in small ways. 1 conversation, 1 class, 1 volunteer day, 1 creative experiment, 1 project draft. Clarity comes from movement. 2. Use the values before goals method. Goals are specific outcomes. Values are directions. A goal might be publish a book. A value might be creativity or truth or helping people feel less alone. Even if the goal changes, the value can remain. Try writing 5 values that you want your life to express, such as growth, connection, compassion, freedom, courage, beauty, service, learning, honesty, peace. Then ask, what is one tiny action that expresses one value today? If you value connection, message a friend. If you value learning, read 5 pages. If you value creativity, write 2 sentences. If you value health, take a short walk. Purpose is built from value-aligned days. 3. Follow your pull, not your pressure. Pressure sounds like I should, I have to, I need to prove. Pull sounds like I'm curious, I want to explore, this feels meaningful. The world is full of loud shoulds. Purpose tends to be quieter. If you can't hear the pull, reduce noise. Less comparison, less constant stimulation, more silence, more walks, more space to notice your inner signals. 4. Think in seasons, not forever. A huge reason purpose feels intimidating is because we treat it like a lifelong contract. Instead, choose a purpose for this season. For the next 3 months, maybe your purpose is rebuilding your energy, learning a skill, improving your relationships, creating something small, healing your nervous system, exploring new communities. This removes the pressure to solve your entire life in one decision. 5. Remember, purpose can be simple. Purpose isn't always a career. Sometimes it's how you live. It can be being a calm presence, being honest, being someone who helps, being someone who creates beauty, being someone who breaks a family pattern, being someone who learns to love well. A meaningful life is not necessarily a famous life. It's a life that feels aligned. If you're searching for purpose, you don't need to panic. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're listening. Start smaller than your mind wants to. Choose one value. Take one tiny step. Notice what brings you alive. Repeat, purpose doesn't usually arrive like lightning. It arrives like dawn, slowly, quietly, and then suddenly you realize, I'm moving in a direction that feels like me. Are there specific topics you're interested in or a particular question you'd like answered in your life? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe now and join me on your journey toward more clarity and inner strength.